What's up you guys, Lemon Collects here, and today I'm back again doing another review, this time of the Marvel Legends Venom Pool Bath Wave Ghost Spider from the Spider-Man Maximum Venom sort of series, or whatever it is. Again, that another logo up there of the half Spider-Man, half Venom. The white box, Ghost Spider in there, picture on the side, read up on the back, and the rest of the wave. Yeah, let's get into this. So, in terms of background for this figure, it's pretty similar to the last review I did, the Miles Morales venomized Spider-Man Maximum Venom figure. In terms of this figure, seems to be based on the original concept art. As you can see, pictures written before on the screen, and then obviously when they actually released the show, they changed up the design, and it looks similar. I would say more similar than it does on the Miles figure, but there's a lot of differences. As you can see, they sort of made it a bit more jagged in places, and they removed the sort of jacket aspect. Yeah, so they sort of did that. Then also, as you'll see on this one, see here, they did seem to change the design before that for the Titan series, and this, as you can see, does seem to be sort of halfway in between, although not really, but kind of. It doesn't have the jacket, it has more white over the body. The hood doesn't have the spikes. It does have the white arms and the rest of it, and does seem to have that tongue, the really long tongue, as you can see, sort of sculpted into the body in the middle. But yeah, it does seem like they changed it to this design, and then they changed it again, like they did with the Miles Morales figure. So yeah, that does seem to be sort of based on this figure. I think the best design out of all of the ones that I've shown, I'll go back to the other picture, is the one that we got for the figure. Also, like known as the original concept design. I really think that looks the best. I really like the idea of the sort of jacket sort of aspect. It really fits the sort of style. I like how the hood is the sort of mouth, and then you got the big tongue wrapping around. So I really think that was the best design they could have chosen. So with this figure, we don't get any accessories, but we do get the Build-A-Figure torso for Venom Pool, as well as this sheath with swords in. So all out of the packaging, here is Ghost Spider. I believe Ghost Spider is the Spider-Gwen's actual name in like the TV show or comic that this is based off of. But this is obviously a venomized version. It's not just a regular one. But as you can see with Miles Morales as well, he's just referred to as Miles Morales, not venomized. So I believe that's why. But yeah, first look at this figure. The concept is quite nice. It's quite interesting with this whole hood being the sort of mouth. Then we've got this really long tongue piece, which again, it's an interesting concept, but so far in figure form it is a bit, there's no bendy wires in it, so it's a bit in the way, sort of when you're trying to stand her up. It sort of pushes her backwards because it's longer than the figure, as you can see. So yeah, that is the first thing I noticed. Also, I'm noticing there's no head articulation in terms of up and down. There's obviously side to side, which is just from the beginning quite irritating. Yeah, I do think the design as a concept is pretty cool. I think it does work well with the character's style and everything. So looking closer, the hood, he's got this sort of metallic bluey paint, which is sort of different to the less sort of metallic purpley paint. As you can see, there's a slight difference. It's less on camera, but it's not too much of an issue. And then going to detail, this hood does look really nice. I've got a lot of issues with the paint and the white. But yeah, I think it's supposed to be sort of teeth, and like the mouth is the hood. Then you get the face underneath. Which, yeah, I think that does look pretty cool, though. It's something to be hard to see the face. If you're looking really close, you can't really see, but there's some sort of thing on her neck there. I don't know if that's just the mould or if that's supposed to be there, but I'm not sure what it is. Anyway, yeah, it comes with this really small jacket. As you can see, I do think the design is quite nice. This sort of very sort of scribbly spider logo or Venom logo does look kind of cool, and it carries around all the way to the front. And then tongue sort of comes down in the middle, very long and sort of windy. It kind of wraps around everything. Got some teeth painted on different parts. Down here they're not painted, but we do get some painted up here, so it's quite nice that it's up there. Yeah, you can sort of, it's made of very malleable plastic, so you can just sort of wrap it around and stuff, but it hasn't got a bendy wire in it, so you can't just sort of pose it like that, because it'll just go back where you want it. Anyway, you get some spikes on top. They're not painted though. On the arms we do get this cool white sort of spike, and then the sort of veins onto a square on the hand, which I do think that design does look really nice. And we only get one set of hands, and we do get this sort of this nice hand, although it's not super practical in terms of, you know, we don't get any fisted hands or anything, as this is just another open hand, and we see that design again on that side. So in the torso it's pretty plain, no detail down the legs, and then we do get the classic Spider-Gwen sort of ballerina slippers, but with a different effect. It's got this sort of veiny sort of look instead of the normal strap, and we get a point right on the end. So yeah, this design is quite interesting, and yeah, I do quite like the concept sort of design of it. So you can take the head off, but the actual head is sculpted into the hood, so you can't remove the hood, as it's sort of glued in there. And then you just get this big sort of piece, which is, you know, it would have been nice maybe to be able to take the head out and have it without the hood, but you know, it's not too bad. You can just pop it back on like that. In terms of articulation on this figure, the head, you get 360 swivel, but it is sort of hindered by the tongue, and if you can sort of get it to go over, but you are going to sort of mess with the paint and sculpting, so maybe a bit best not to. Like I said before, the back and forward movement isn't really there, it's just sort of, it's like bending, it's not actually the hinge working. There is a hinge in there, but because of the massive hood it just can't do anything, which is a bit irritating. You can't have them looking up, so you can't have a sort of diving pose, because, you know, she's looking forward. The arms go up very high, which is nice to see, much higher than most figures, but this is a female body mold, so some of the articulation is different. Speaking of that, we do only get the single jointed arm, which is a bit annoying, but hopefully that is going to change in the future, as we are seeing more double jointed female body mold arms. And the hand hinges forward that far, backwards that far. On the other hand, it is about the same. Then you do get the full hand swivel. You get swivel at the sort of ab crunch area, and then it crunches forward, not really much forward, but it does crunch back a little bit. And we don't get a waist swivel. The legs come out that far, which isn't as much as I'd like. You know, it would be nice to do some sort of acrobatic poses with it, which you can't really. Thigh does do full swivel. The legs kick forward that far, which is slightly less than most figures, and then backwards that far. Then we get the double jointed knee, calf swivel, hinge forwards that far, backwards that far, and the ankle pivot. Just want to mention this foot is got a lot stiffer articulation, but again, that's probably just my figure, as is with most Marvel Legends. So I just forgot to mention, at the elbow you can do an elbow swivel. Now let's get into some comparisons. So first of all, we do next to the Miles Morales Venomized, because, you know, they're both sort of alternate spider characters, and yeah, they're both Venomized versions. I do think they look nice together. You have them sort of team facing off against Spider-Man or whatever. Nice posing options there. So here are all the sort of comic-y symbiotes together, and yeah, I still think that Carnage is outshining all of the rest. That is just such an amazing figure. And here we have next to the retro collection Spider-Man figure, and yeah, I do think these scale well together. By the way, my voice is a little off today, so it may sound slightly different. Now let's get into the posing. So yeah, overall I have mixed feelings with this figure. The tongue sort of thing does get in the way sometimes, but then also it can look really cool, like I think it does in this pose. Yeah, the design does hinder it a bit, especially with the hood, but I do again like the design a bit more than the Miles one, which again, remember I said, it has the really plain sort of logo in the middle and everything, but I think this one doesn't have that problem as much, as the rest of it sort of fits in more. So yeah, I do like this design more than I like it as a figure, but it is not a bagged figure in any sort of way. So yeah, I'm going to finish off the wave in the next video with the Morbius. So yeah, I'll see you in that one. Please like and subscribe.